Thank you all so much for coming to our script-in-hand adaptation of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. My name is Brenna Snayateki. I am one of the directors of the Homeschool Academy Drama Club. If you're not familiar with it, the Homeschool Academy is an educational cooperative that serves homeschooling families throughout the greater Rochester area by offering weekly academic classes and extracurricular activities like our drama club. Our cast for this show consists of 8 middle and high school homeschoolers who will be playing 14 different characters. They are part of our greater drama club, which has kids in 3rd through 12th grade. This small cast has worked hard to understand the plot, context, and vocabulary of Hamlet, as well as learning acting techniques. We rehearsed once weekly, mostly over Zoom, and this script-in-hand format has proved to be a great way to introduce teens and tweens to the art of performing Shakespeare without the added pressure of memorizing Shakespeare. Hamlet is what's called a vengeance tragedy, and it follows what happens to the Prince of Denmark and those around him as he feels compelled to avenge a foul and most unnatural murder. It's one of Shakespeare's best-known works, with many lines and phrases that you will likely be familiar with. It's also one of his longest plays, but this abridged version runs just over an hour while still maintaining all the major plot points, along with all of the original Shakespearean language. The story takes place in and around the Castle Elsinore, so there will be some simple scene changes as we weren't able to book a real castle for this. Maybe next time. We'd like to thank the staff here at Barnes & Noble for allowing us to perform in this space. And as you may have noticed, the performance is free, but we will happily take donations. There's a QR code on the bottom of all of our promotional posters. You can scan that and make a donation right there, and your support is very much appreciated. Our next production will be a slight removal from Shakespeare. It'll be Seussical the Musical. And that's coming up the first weekend in May. It will be at the Aquinas Institute in Rochester. If you'd like more information, just come see me after the show. So thank you so much and enjoy. Act 1, Scene 1, the platform before the castle.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king!
Bernardo?
Welcome, Horatio. Good Marcellus. Have you had quiet, car?
Not a mouse stirring. Has this thing appeared to you tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says it is 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him. Therefore, I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that, if this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, what twill not up here?
Sit down a while.
Peace, break they off! There it comes again!
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art scholar, Horatio. Speak to it.
What art thou that observest this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy?
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself?
Thus twice before, and at this dead hour, hath he gone by our watch.
In the scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Let me impart what we have seen this night to young Hamlet. This spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him.
Act 1, Scene 2, Elsinore, a room of state in the castle.
Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death the memory be green, and that it is us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we, was wise as sorrow, think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we as 'twere with a defeated joy taken to wife, nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms which have freely gone with this affair along. To all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is't?
Dread, my lord, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son,
A little more than kin, and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound. In filial obligation for some term, to do obsequious sorrow, but to persever in obstinate condolement, 'tis unmanly grief. We pray you, think of us as of a father, so let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you. Bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall, in all my best, obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come.
Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting hath not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't, oh fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possessed me. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body. Oh God, a beast, that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well. Horatio, or I do forget myself.
Say, my lord, your poorest servant ever.
What is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king your father.
The king my father.
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
Act 1, Scene 3, a room in Polonius's house.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor. Hold it a fashion, and a toy in blood. Forward, not permanent. Sweet, not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more, but so?
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, but you must fear his greatness weighed, his will is not his own. For on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart.
I stay too long, but here, my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. And this precept in thy memory look thou character. To thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
What is Ophelia he has said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Well bethought.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both. Even in their promise, as it is a making, you must not take for fire. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Scene 4, the platform.
The air bites shrewdly. What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. My lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. King, father, royal dame, oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, cursed in death, have burst their cerements.
It beckons you to go away with it.
Do not go.
No, by no means.
It will not speak. Then will I follow it.
Do not, my lord. What if it tempts you toward the flood, my lord, and there assumes some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away! Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Scene 5, a more remote part of the castle.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
My hour is almost come, when I, to sulphurous and tormenting flames, must render up myself. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge is foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder!
Murder, most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to note that I, with wings as swift as meditation, may sweep to my revenge.
'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul! Mine uncle?
I, that incestuous, adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, won to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole, with the juice of cursed Hebenon in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distillment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that, swift as quicksilver, it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor it doth posset and curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine. Thus was I, sleeping by brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen, at once dispatched. Cut off, even in the blossoms of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account, with all my imperfections on my head. O horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Fare thee well. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me.
Remember thee. I, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory, I'll wipe away all trivial fond records, and thy commandment alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain. O villain, villain, smiling, damned villain! My tables, meet it is I set it down, that one may smile, and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word. It is adieu, adieu, remember me. I have sworn.
Act 2, Scene 1, a room in Polonius's house.
How now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
Alas, my lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking together, as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then he goes to all the length of his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such a perusal of my face, as if he would draw it. Long stayed he so, at last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head, thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, it did seem to shatter all his bulk, and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This must be known.
Act 2, Scene 2, a room in the castle.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was. What it should be more than his father's death I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with him, to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentleman, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am, two men there are not living to whom he more adheres. For the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
We both obey.
Thanks, Guildenstern, gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you, instantly, to visit my much too changed son.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
My good liege, I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is but to be nothing else but mad?
More matter, with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no word at all. That he is mad, 'tis pity. Mad let us grant him then. And now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. I have a daughter, have though she is mine, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter showed unto me.
But how has she received his love?
To my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy sphere this must not be. And then I precepts gave her that she should walk herself from his resort, and he, repulsed, a short tale to make. fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence to a watch, and by this declension into the madness wherein he now reigns.
Do you think it is this?
Maybe, very like.
Hath there been such a time, I would fain know that I have positively said 'tis so when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
You know sometimes he walks for hours here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time I'll lose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind in a wrath then. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, let me be no assistant to this state.
We will try it.
Act 2, Scene 2, a room in the castle.
My honored lord,
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends. Ah, Rosencrantz, how dost thou, Guildenstern? Good lads, how do ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
happy in that we are not over happy. On fortune's cap we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lord.
What make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, come, deal justly with me. Come, come. Nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything, but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there is a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me, but let me conjure you, by the rights of our friendship. Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to the king and queen moves no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, foregone all custom of exercises. And indeed, it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. You are welcome. But my uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad north-northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Act 3, Scene 1, a room in the castle.
Your father and myself will so bestow ourselves, that seeing unseen, we may of your encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he has behaved, if to be the affliction of his love for know, that he suffers for.
Ophelia, walk you here. We will bestow ourselves. Read on this book, that show of such an exercise may color your loneliness. I hear him coming. Let's withdraw, my lord.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of trouble, and by opposing, end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sickly at o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment. With this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrance of yours that I have longed long to redeliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. The perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Ha ha! Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than would honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, than the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was some time a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent to honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it would be better my mother had not borne me. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in's own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
Get thee to a nunnery, go! Farewell, or, if thou wilt needs marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Heavenly powers restore him.
God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. Go to, I'll no more on't. It hath made me mad. I say, we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown.
Love? His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits unbrewed, and I do doubt the hatch in the disclosed will be some danger, which for it to prevent he shall speed to England. What think you on't?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but let his queen mother all alone entreat him, to show his grief. Let her be round with him, if she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
Shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Act 3, Scene 2, a room in the castle.
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you. The queen your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
Your behavior has struck her into amazement and admiration.
O wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration?
She desires to speak with you in her chamber ere you go to bed.
We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
And so I do still by these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lord. What is your cause of distemper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
'Tis as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your fingers and thumb, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music.
These stops cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me, you would seem to know my stops, you would pluck out the heart of my mystery, and there is much music, excellent voice, in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak. Sblood, do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me.
Act 3, Scene 3, a room in the castle.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I your commission will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you.
We will haste us.
My lord, he is going to his mother's chamber. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest cursed upon't, a brother's murder. What if this cursed hand itself were thicker with blood, there's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Oh, forgive me, my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? Help, angels, make a say. Bow, stubborn knees. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat. Now he is a prey, and now I'll do't. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No, up sword, and know thou a more horrid hent, when he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed. Then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as hell whereto it goes.
Act 3, Scene 4, Queen Gertrude's chamber.
He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screamed and stood between much in him. All silence me even here. Pray you, be round with him.
Mother!
I warned you. Fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet? Have you forgotten me?
You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and, would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
You go not, till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Help! Ho!
What? Ho! Help! Help! Help!
How now, a rat?
Oh, I am slain!
What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart. Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command. a combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed, and batten on this moor?
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers entered in mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
Save me, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is 't with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there! Look how it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain.
My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered, mother. For love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what's to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue, if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend an easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so, to punish me with this, and this with me. One word more, good lady. Let not the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton in your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reechy kisses, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. Come on, sir, let me drag you toward your end. Good night, mother.
Act 4, scenes 5 and 7, a room in the castle.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know? What from another one buys cockle, hat, and staff, or his sandal shoon?
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, ma. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass green fur, at his heels a stone. Oh,
Alas, look here, my lord.
white his shroud as the mountain snow, flooded with all sweet flowers, which beswept the ground, did not go with true love showers.
Conceit upon her father, how long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Good night, good night.
This is the poison of deep grief. It springs off from her father's death. Poor Ophelia divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are mere pictures or mere beasts.
Alas, what noise is this?
Marcellus, what is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. Young Laertes in a riotous head o'erbears your offices. They rabble call him lord. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king.
Where is this king? I pray you, give me leave.
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that calms proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, brands a harlot, even here between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like?
Where is my father?
Dead.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil. I dare damnation. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman, that I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye. Let her in!
How now? What noise is that?
They bore him bright-faced on a bride, said, hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, nanny, hey, nanny, nanny. Fare you well, my dove. There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. And there's pansies, that's for thoughts. And there's fennel for you, and columbines. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they all withered when my father died. And of all Christian souls, I pray God be with ye.
Do you see this, O God?
Now must your conscience your acquainted seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. For he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much insinuate. The queen his mother lives almost by his looks. The other motive, why to a public court I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection would like the spring that turneth wood to stone convert his gibes to graces.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate turns, but my revenge will come.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord. So you will not o'errule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall unchart the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather, if you could devise it so, that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that at Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him as did that one.
What part is that, my lord?
He made confession of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise and your defense, and for your rapier most especially, that he cried out 'twould be a sight indeed if one could match you. Sir, this report did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with him. Now out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Good Laertes, keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns shall know you are come home. We'll bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare can save the thing from death. This but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, wherein but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise? How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clambering to hang in envy's silver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she's drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. and therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Act 5, Scene 1, a churchyard.
In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract all the time for my behoof, or methought there was nothing ameet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business, that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
But age in his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath stripped me into the land, as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. Whose grave's this, sir?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
You lie out on't, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't, and yet it is mine.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, sir. God rest her soul. She's dead.
How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave digger?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last King Hamlet o'ercame Fortinbras.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if you be not rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 or 9 year. There is a skull now that has been laid in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
Sir, this same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your merriments, your gambols, your songs? No one now to mock your own leering, quite chapfallen. Now, get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. To what base uses we may return, Horatio. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loam. Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. But soft aside, here comes the king.
No ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful. She should in ground and sanctified have lodged till the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, ministering angels shall my sister be, while thou liest howling.
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not to have strewn thy grave.
Hold off the earth awhile, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
What is he, whose grief bears such an emphasis? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat!
Pluck them asunder!
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen!
Why, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag. I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her? Wilt weep? Wilt fight? Wilt fast? Eat a crocodile? I'll do't. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. An hour of quiet short we shall we see. Till then in patience our proceeding be.
Act 5, Scene 2, a hall in the castle.
Your lordship, there's great wager on your head. You are not ignorant of what excellent Laertes is at his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons.
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between you and him. He shall not exceed you 3 hits. It would come to an immediate trial if you vouchsafe an answer.
I will walk here in the hall if it please his majesty. 'Tis the briefing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. I will win for him, and I can.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went to France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win, at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall the rapier hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from thine.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. I have shot mine arrow o'er the house, and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, and do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly pledge. Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils. Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds on the weaker side.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all the length.
Aye, my good lord.
Oh, set me the stoops of wine upon that table. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One.
No.
Judgment?
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Say, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Another hit. What say you?
A touch, a touch. I do confess.
Our son shall win.
The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you, pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on, have at you now.
Part of them, they are incensed.
Nay, come again.
Look to the queen there, ho!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is Laertes?
Why, so what cock to my own springe? I'm justly killed with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swings to see them bleed.
No, no! The drink! The drink! Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink! The drink! I'm poisoned!
Oh, villainy! Ho! Let the door be locked. Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there's not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand. Unabated and envenomed, the foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point envenomed too. Then venom to thy work.
Oh! Yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor mine, nor thine upon me.
Hamlet, heaven make thee perfect. I follow thee. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity why, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest from Poland, to the ambassadors of England, gives this warlike volley.
Oh, I die, Horatio. I cannot live to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence which have solicited, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart.
What is the sight?
What is it ye would see? If out of woe or wonder, cease your search. Fortinbras, give order that these bodies, high in a stage, be placed to the view, and let me speak to thee yet unknowing world how these things came about.
Bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss.
Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels seem thee to thy rest.